Last season, at just 15, this kid became Chelsea's youngest ever starter in the UEFA Youth League. Then in the next match, he scored and took that record as well. He's just one of 12 schoolboys that Chelsea just handed scholarships to, and he might not even be the best. In this video, we're breaking down all 12 that have signed their scholarships. So starting with the 4 driving the buzz. These guys are pretty well known in the Chelsea academy space. These guys have some really high ceilings. But first, and arguably the standout name of this intake, Mahdi Nicoll-Jazuli. He's a creative attacking midfielder. His passing is elite, but he can do it all. He can play as a 6, 8, 10, and he's been at Cobham since he was in the under 8s. So again, he's proper Chelsea. He plays like he's significantly older than he actually is, and he's been with the under 18s for a significant amount of time too. His spatial awareness is amazing. He can just see the game before anyone else really, and I think this is one of the genuine elite players that Chelsea are trying to build a squad of. You've got your Palmers, your Stevels, your Levi Colwills, Josh Chempong, I think too, the untouchables, that if it all came together, you've got the best squad in the world. And I think Mahdi Nicoll-Jazuli, even though he's just 16 years old, is showing really good signs of being part of this. So he can pull the strings as an 8 or a 10. Like I said, his passing is, every pass is perfectly weighted. His vision is amazing. He thrives in the half space. His ball control is elite, and I'm gonna say it, but he just reminds me so much of Jude Bellingham. Just the way he's rugged. If he does lose the ball, he'll win it back straight away. His drive seems amazing, and under pressure, his technical security is absolutely elite. And the records tell you how quickly he's developed as well. At just 15, he became Chelsea's youngest ever starter in the UEFA Youth League against Benfica, and then in the next UEFA Youth League game, he scored against Ajax to become the youngest scorer for Chelsea as well. He was actually central to Chelsea's under-18s national title run. He was a key player in the end of the season. And he's already featured for the under-21s in the Premier League too, which is absurd when you think about his age. He's doing it on the international stage too. He's in England under-17 and just recently signed, not a pro deal, but they basically wrapped up a pro deal, which is eligible when he turns 17 in January 2027. So he's pretty much at Chelsea for the long term, for now anyway. And that's what matters a lot, because you look at Rio and Ngamoa, Ryan McAdoo, they came through the Chelsea academy system, and especially Ngamoa shining for rivals, and McAdoo I'm pretty sure will too soon. Making sure that our best of the best talents are sticking around at Chelsea is always going to be good, and they've done a good job of that this year, really good job. So remember the name, and yeah, I doubt you'll be forgetting it anytime soon. Next up is Reggie Watson. He's a composed centre midfielder. He's more of a controller rather than Nicoll-Jazuli, who's a really threat going forward. But Reggie Watson, he is the son of Ben Watson, who scored the winning goal for Wigan in the FA Cup final against Man City in 2013. So he's from football pedigree. And before we even get to his style of play, he's also the cousin of Jesse Derry, who Chelsea fans obviously know. He's a 19-year-old winger, came from Crystal Palace alongside Reggie a couple seasons ago. Derry just signed his long-term Chelsea deal. He's gone on loan to Sporting CP, and I think he'll do a great job out there. But back to Watson. On the pitch, Reggie Watson is like unfairly mature. The way he passes around, the way he just runs around, even his size. For a 15-year-old, he's pretty tall, but he's also so technically good. His technique, his ball striking technique is, I have no words for it. Like, there's some players in the world like Reece James, Trent, Kevin De Bruyne, Xabi Alonso, back in his day, even now he could probably still do it. Their ball striking, they just know exactly the technique for every pass and can just hit the ball perfectly. And Reggie Watson does not, he's kind of in that conversation already, and he's just signed a scholarship. Not to mention his free kicks. He is an insane free kick taker, just mental. He's also a leader. He captained the Chelsea side to the recent Lauren James Cup win. So he literally has everything you want in a player. And yeah, he's incredible. He's had a UEFA Youth League appearance as well against PSV Eindhoven in the knockouts, and has made under 21s appearances, plays for England under 16s at the moment. And he has been on my radar and the radar of Chelsea Academy fans for a while. It's so easy to forget how young he actually is. He doesn't look it either. It's quite a rare combo to have the technique, the balance he has. It's like almost Busquets-esque, Rodri-esque. And developing under Xabi Alonso you could not get a better manager. But we're going to speak at the end about who actually suits Xabi Alonso's system the most, just for a bit of fun. Now is Isaac Badu da Silva. I think we're just going to call him Isaac Badu. He's a defensive midfielder, he's an anchor, he's also been at Chelsea since the age of 8. And he's gone under a real positional evolution in the past couple of years. He was a centre-back for a long time, but his ball ability, like his dribbling, his balance was so good, he got moved into the defensive midfield role, where he still has that elite defending ability, interceptions, tackles, but he can just keep the ball really well, and his passing is amazing too. He's a really silky defensive midfielder and plays for Portugal under 17s. He represents them. He sort of broke out last season with the under 18s and played a real big role in the under 18s, and they won the title. We're going to get onto the numbers of their impressive title win in a moment. He also made his EFL trophy debut against Northampton, that's like men's football, and Walsall as well. He's playing against actual professional men at the age of 16, which is so impressive. He also got an under 21 start against Real Sociedad back in January. Although we did lose, we conceded 2 last-minute goals to lose 3-2 when we were 2-1 up. But he's really he's getting chances and really taking the chances too. Next season will really show what level he's at, and it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. And then the last of the 4 headliners that have signed their scholars, Grimwade. He's so technical. He's basically just an Eden Hazard regenerated. He's pretty small. He's quite diminutive, but his ball control, his balance, absolutely insane. He's just so good at dribbling. He can play out on the wing, attacking midfield, very creative, really explosive, direct, but can score goals too. There's an absolutely incredible finish that I think it was in the Messi Cup in America. It will be on the video at some point. He was signed as an underrated as well, so he's been at Chelsea a long time. Funnily enough, he's part of the Grimwade family, who is like millions of subscribers on YouTube, and he also has several other siblings across the boys and girls categories at Chelsea Academy. And he's gone viral a few times. He did keep ups with chewing gum or something. He just is sick. He actually made his under 18s debut at the age of 14 and had a regular squad presence in his under 16s year. They probably didn't want him overexposed in the higher age categories because of his size. But even in the last year, about a year ago, I remember watching him, and it was so easy to pick him out because he was very small. Great on the ball, but very, like significantly smaller than the other players. But in the last year, he's grown a lot, and I'm not worried about his physicality at all anymore. He scored a goal against Norwich City in a 3-1 away win at the age of 15 in the 18s. And yeah, he's got a small, low centre of gravity, but it's perfect for him. His ball control is elite and definitely the best dribbler in this. The categories for this video, I've spoken about the headliners. We're then going to get on to the players that have had 18s, under 18s football, and then the ones that have not played any and they've just moved up from the under 16s. But before we do, let me give you a bit of context from Cobham last season. So the under 18s started their campaign with Hassan Suleiman as their head coach, but then stemming from Enzo Maresca's walking away from Chelsea, the whole academy staff reshuffled mid-season, which isn't ideal. And then so January 2026, it was Dan Hogan. He stepped up from the under 16s head coach to the under 18s head coach, but he guided the under 18s through the rest of the year immaculately, you could say. And it culminated in them winning the under 18s National League title. So it's no surprise he's staying as head coach for next season as well. In 28 games played, they won 21, scored 88 goals, had 11 clean sheets, and had an 11-match unbeaten run entering the final, in which they absolutely smashed Man City in a very satisfactory 5-1 win. It was great scenes. And that was played at Stamford Bridge too. That ended an 8-year wait for the under 18s win the national title, stretched back to 2018. So he did a great job, and the squad's only going to improve with these players coming in from the 16s, although a lot of them, the 4 that we've already spoken about, were heavily involved already. So chapter 2, players that haven't got loads of online attention yet, but that doesn't really matter to me. If you lean with the skill that obviously these players have to be part of the Chelsea Academy, everything else is going to follow. Just focus on the football. So Andrew Penny is a pure striker. He's 16 years old. He's been in the under 18s now and then, off and on. From the age of 15, I remember seeing he scored a great goal. And the one thing that stands out is his physicality. For his age, he is an absolute unit, to be fair. He's lightning fast and explosive. Stretches back lines, like I said, absolutely very strong. Again, been at Cobham since the age of 8. And yes, and last season he broke into the under 18s now and then, scored a goal against Birmingham City in a 3-1 win at Cobham. and West Ham. And then it also made his under-21s EFL debut against Walsall's first team at the age of 15, which is a very high acceleration of development. Now, as he's an out-and-out striker, and Chelsea have got a history of amazing Cobham graduates becoming strikers, Tammy Abraham, Dominic Solanke, just to name a few. And right now we have Shim Mayu and Chizie Ezamwata, who's the under-21s and 18s respectively. But it looks like Mayuka will be going out on loan. Chizie will probably go into the under-21s, and Andrew Penny, it's his chance to take up the under-18s out-and-out striker role. Then Gabriel Sambu, he's a versatile defender, can play right back or centre back. He's physically dominant, very tall for his age, but also technically gifted. He came from Luton, from the under-12s level. He does remind me a bit of Joshua Chemp. He is, quite tall, needs his frame filling out, but again, he's 16 years of age. But his versatility really stands out. Like I said, centre back, right back, he can do a lot. He actually captained England's under-15s team, but now represents Poland as an under-17 international, which is very impressive. He was also trusted in Europe. He played in the under-19s against Karabag in the 5-0 UEFA Youth League win, and had under-18s experience against Birmingham City. And finally, for this section, we've got Isaac Collinson, the goalkeeper. He was signed from Middlesbrough under-15s level. Again, he's a modern goalkeeper, ball playing, technical ability, but great shot stopper too. He made his under-18s debut last season under genuine pressure. It was a 3-3 draw in the end. In the Premier League Cup at Cobham, it was high stakes, commanded it well. He's been part of England under-15s, under-16s. So he's, again, you can tell which players are elite from young, like they're just born with the talent, although you need to work hard as well. The players that have been representing their country from whatever year it starts, maybe under 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18. Yeah. And Chelsea seem to have a lot of those types of players because we're one of the best academies in the world, if not the best. So now there's 5 more players that have not had under 18s minutes yet. It's quite hidden, like under 16s you can't watch live unless you're really at Cobham in person a lot, which I'm not. It's quite hard to know about these players, but this is what I found from the Chelsea website, from opinions of people that are. And there's a few clips online of highlights. Start with Kwamina Amper, a wide attacker. And if you recognise a name, which I did, he's Atto Amper's younger brother, also a winger. He's recently moved to Stoke City, but he was in the Chelsea academy for years and years. I think he could have got more of a chance in the under-21s. I think injuries didn't help him particularly, but he made his debut in the Conference League under Enzo Maresca. I think that was that the Kazakhstan, the game where we went to Kazakhstan and it was freezing cold. But Kwamina is also, like I said, a swift, creative winger. He's also very tall. He's taller than Atto Amper, which is quite unusual for a winger, but he's dominant in the air, and that's never a bad thing. He's also absolutely rapid. The tracking data said that he's in the top 3 fastest in the under-16s last season when they did a test at Cobham, and it'll be good to see what he can do. Jack Anderson is a left-footed playmaker. He was signed from Blackburn from the under-15s. He's creative, confident, and floats across the front line from what I can tell. Very versatile. Apparently he was on the left-hand side of Blackburn about 60% of the time, but then converted into more of a right winger or a 10, which just shows he has a good understanding of all the positions across the front line, really. And reports flag his mentality is really good. He's intense in training with a good work ethic, which is very important, as we know. Then Emmanuel Ayindi, a centre-back signed from Millwall under 15s. He's an aggressive, front-footed, old-school centre-back. I love these sorts of defenders. Just no nonsense, winning your headers, winning your duels, a little bit of composure here and then, but do the basics and the squad's going to love you. He's also been with the England under 15s and has clean sheets in 45% of his international matches, which is very impressive. He seems to be the projected defensive anchor of the under 18s new cycle, and strikers from other academies are not going to like playing against him. Jayden Melendama is a press-resistant defensive midfielder. Been at the club since under 8s as well. His tight, close control and dribbling through the high press seems very impressive and very useful. He actually scored a crucial goal in the under 17s Premier League Cup last season, and we'll see how Dan Hogan uses him in the midfield next season. And then finally, Jake Murray in goal, another goalkeeper. He was signed from Luton at under 12s level. He's very strong in the air and commanding of his penalty area. His performances earned him a call up to the under 18s match. They scored quite a lot last season. He also helped his team win the recent Lawrence James Cup, which is exactly what if Chelsea didn't win that, then that would have been a big shame. But we did, and I remember seeing clips of him making some crazy saves in the quarters, semi-finals, finals, and yeah, he helped the team a lot. Now, just to have the conversation, a bit of a challenge to what I've just said. All these players do seem like great players, and all clubs talk up their intake of scholars, but the realistic reality is that not all of them will make it at Chelsea, which is fine. Just a fraction of the academy players at any club actually makes it to the first team and has an impact but it is good to track them and see their progression. That is the beauty of tracking a class like this. Everyone has their own individual path, and it's just cool to see Cobham, Chelsea's academy, doing what it does best and just making amazing footballers. Looking back at the last cycle of the academy, the Chelsea academy best players like Xavi Simons, Harvey Vale, Dion Rankin from just from off the top of my head, they're doing great things in the football pyramid, Championship, League One, and yeah, the success looks different for everyone. So yeah, but it's cool. It would be cool to see some of these play in the Chelsea first team, emulator, Reece James, John Terry, Levi Colwill. But which of these 12 actually fits Xabi Alonso's demands? We know he can play fluid formations. It's about being really good on the ball, having a high footballing IQ, and the metric from his previous structures is telling. Central midfielders were required to average a minimum 90% pass completion rate as a non-negotiable, and Mahdi Nicoll-Jazuli, first of all, I think would fit nicely. His technical security under pressure is just great. He doesn't lose the ball often, and when he does, he just wins it straight back. Like I said, he can play as a 6, 8 or 10, whatever is asked of him, and he's been doing all this years ahead of schedule. At under 13's level, I actually found out he was a central defender, which just shows how far he's come. Going from a centre back, but having the ball ability and ball striking ability to then play as a 10 as well in just a few years is pretty magnificent. And a multifunctional midfielder that just thinks 2 phases ahead is exactly what Alonso could love. And just training with the first team every now and then, getting his footballing minutes in the under 18s or sometimes maybe even the 21s next season is what we can expect for Mahdi Nicoll-Jazuli. Then Reggie Watson is the other serious candidate in my head. Just very briefly, he's already got the physical robustness and the maturity of a senior player. Add the set piece quality on top. Just the other day he was pictured training with the first team, so was Mahdi Nicoll-Jazuli, with Xabi Alonso in some of his first sessions. But the matchup, the partnership, the pairing of Watson's ball striking ability just has that great technique that Xabi Alonso knows very well, as he has it himself. I think he would absolutely fall in love with Reggie Watson, and he could be one of the first ones to make their debut out of this batch of youngsters. So this is a really good intake of scholars this year. Every year at Cobham is, but particularly there's some really high ceilings in this batch. And then with the new head coach coming in, like I said, a lot of these have been training with the first team just to get to grips, have more bodies in training as some of the first teams sent the World Cup. But that's all great experience that's just going to help their trajectory and development. The team, the under 18s, will want to defend the title that they won last season, and these players will then gain the mentality of winning at all costs and having a squad goal, which is really important. So I'll leave you with the question of who will make their debut first. Could we even see a debut next season? We saw Reggie Walsh make his debut for Enzo Maresca at 16 years of age. I think maybe Nicoll-Jazuli could get first team minutes next season as he has everything already, really, and we're to fight off some big clubs, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Leverkusen, all interested in taking him from us, but he's stuck at Cobham, stuck at Chelsea, which is great to see. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video. I think you'll enjoy this one too. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.